to be, the distribution of 100,000 bags. I've not done anything. It's been quiet. For instance, we've not had anything about it in River State. We don't know if the money is coming to the account of River State. We don't know. No committee has been formed. And it's like that in many other states. And, the NLC has come out to say that if it continues like this, then it will be a problem. And the NLC would have to, raise a bit of a dust so that the government will know that it's serious. However, the NLC still has its reservation when you talk about the 5 billion naira, beg your pardon, that was shared to the state governors. The NLC has seen on some of the dailies, he's saying that, that's just gifting the governors money because nothing will come out of it. And, they're insisting that was a wrong move by the government. The NLC is also waiting for the government to roll out the buses that they promised. Remember, even yesterday it was reported that the federal government has promised to roll out CNG buses to the 36 states. So, and the NLC is talking tough. The NLC is, making threats here and there. But the question I have in my head is, why is it taking so long? I'm not a fan of palliatives. I do think we should begin to boost production. That's the best palliative that can be done. When that presidential address was done a couple of Mondays ago, where he talked about giving MSMEs a bit of a fund for their business. Was it 1 billion now? I can't remember how much it is. But he promised to give a couple of businesses enough fund to carry their businesses to the next level. That's the kind of palliative I like to see, because if businesses expand, people get employed, money, goes round and people get to enjoy. And of course, the GDP gets better, the inflation rate drops, and economy is better. I was hoping for that. But since we are now sharing bags of rice and 5 billion naira, I'm wondering, why are we yet to see distribution in certain states? Why are certain state warehouses not up and running already? It reminds me yet again of the COVID-19 situation. I remember the chaos that erupted when it was found that they were not sharing the palliatives. So I'm wondering, what is with the stalling? What is with? I know a lot of you are not fan of the NLC or the Labour, but this is a good argument. Do you agree? I don't know. I'll find out when I open the phone lines. But moving on to the next one. Pastor Kumuyi says God will use the ministers if Nigerians give them a chance. And this has caused quite a storm on social media. I was leaving my room not too long ago, and I was looking at the headlines on Channels TV. That was one of the big headlines. And I'm saying, why wouldn't I put it as part of my big headlines? And yes, it did say that you should give the ministers a chance, and God will use the ministers if we Nigerians believe that God can use them. I'm just going to let you listen for yourself.
Those ministers that have been chosen in the cabinet, they are not new people that have never done anything. If you look at them one by one, you'll see the good things they've done. If we support them, if we are not, criticizing every step and they don't know where to stand, if we accept them and we believe that God will work through them, He'll use them as instruments to build our nation. Let's forget the past. This is a new day. And I believe, and we all believe, we're going to see new things for our country through our president and through the members of the cabinet. Good things will happen.
Is that such a bad advice? Is that a bad piece of advice? Because a lot of people have been trying to cut his jugular. They've been trying to beat him up, if that's, not literally, but you know what I'm talking about. And, a lot of people disagreed with him. But we pray a lot in this country, be it the Muslim religion or the Christian religion or even the traditional religion. We pray a lot in this country. We ask God for a miracle. We ask God, for blessings and all of that. But, if we don't have good government policies, if we don't have good leaders, how would God bring the blessings? Sometimes we need to look at it from that angle. It's no wonder for those of you who are Christians, your Bible does say that if you pray for Jerusalem, it's a good thing because from therein comes your blessing. You know, he was talking to the people living in Jerusalem at the time. So is this such a bad advice? You know, support your ministers. Have some kind of faith. Have some kind of belief in them. Oh my goodness, I'd like to hear from you. And talking about believing in the ministers, according to Daily Trust did a wonderful piece. I think you should go read it. 48 ministers will gob 8.63 billion naira in 4 years. Yeah. Now, you know, we have 45 now, right? And 3 still pending. The Senate will likely clear 3. We don't know if RFI will be part of it, but we do hear moves are being made to replace him. But there is the possibility that the 3 names left, or the 3 slots left, will be screened and confirmed by the Senate. And if that happens, the total ministerial positions will be 48. Good. So 48 of them, you know, their salaries and allowances will, you know, gulp 8.63 billion naira in 4 years. I beg your pardon. And I'm asking, is this really a big amount? I mean, by the way, you remember they're looking at adjusting the salaries of public officers. We had that conversation some time ago. And if the agency or commission responsible for that finds it worthy to increase salaries given the current economic situation, then it's likely that this money for the 48 ministers may be more. But let's look at what Daily Trust had to say. I'm just going to get some figures out of that article. I can read all of them, so I'm not sued for plagiarism. But let's see. Where's the report now? Give me a minute. Yeah, I've seen it. I've told you what the caption is. You can go read it. 48 ministers to gulp 8.6 billion naira in 4 years. Now, according to the report, 650,135 naira 99 kobo is the basic monthly salary of a minister. So that means in 1 year, you know, he gets about 7.801 million per annum. Now, a breakdown of this amount, according to Daily Trust, shows that per annum, that's in a year, the basic salary of a minister is 2.26,400 naira. That's what the minister earns in a year, right? Vehicle fueling, that's petrol for his vehicle, will cost per year 1,519,800 naira. Now, his personal assistance, maybe, you know, PA aides, will cost him 506,600 naira. So, you know, sometimes they'll say aides don't earn so much. Domestic staff, 1,519,800 naira. I'm wondering, is that not too much? Should we cut it down? Why does he need so much of that domestic staff? But what do I know? Moving on. For entertainment, I'm wondering if we should be having entertainment in such a time when the economy is in bad straits. But, you know, entertainment, a minister is entitled to 911 naira, 880 rather 911,880 naira, beg your pardon. For utilities, 607 naira, 920. What am I saying? 607,920 naira, 8 figures, I should say. For monitoring, I'm wondering what they are monitoring, but for monitoring, they have 405,280 naira. And newspapers, oh, wow, will cost them, okay, respect yourself, 303,960 naira. Now, according to the report, this exclude other allowances approved for a minister by, you know, the ROMAFC, the commission responsible for enumerations. And for example, a minister is entitled to 16.20 million naira accommodation for 4 years. That's to say, somewhere around the region of 4+ million a year. For furniture allowance, 6.079 million naira. For severance gratuity, 6.07 million naira. That's when he's leaving office. Leave allowance, 810,000 naira. For motor vehicle allowance, remember they have petrol allowance, now they have motor vehicle allowance, 8.1 million naira. We've got a break coming up. I'll continue with the rest of the figures when I do come back, and then I'll open the phone lines. Just stay tuned. 92.3 Nigeria Info, your audio visual radio station. Of course, you can watch us live on Facebook and YouTube, Nigeria Info page. I am Kalada Kurubatibo, and it's quite an honor being the three big stories that we are looking at this hour. I was just giving you a breakdown of why the ministers, the 48 of them, got 63 billion naira in 4 years. So where was I? I was talking about the allowances, right? And I stopped at motor vehicle allowance. Okay, so according to Daily Trust, based on the analysis, each of the 48 ministers will get a 31.2 million naira salary for 4 years, which implies that all of them will receive 1.497 billion naira as monthly salary for the next years. 4 years, I beg your pardon. I keep mixing my words, sorry about that. And also, there is the supplementary allowances that would cost 37.28 million naira, translating into 1.785 billion naira annually for all of them, and 7.142 billion naira for 4 years. So that's the breakdown. Remember, we talked about cutting down the cost of governance. It's been preached by previous administrations, even this administration. But is it really a big amount? I mean, 600,000 plus is what the minister will get as a basic salary for the month. And allowances there, we understand. But he's the minister of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. So I'm just asking, what do you make of this, really? I'm going to open the phone lines right now. 0817-923-0002 and 0817-923-0003. I know I stumbled on the figures because I'm not very good with figures. So I'm going to tell you once again, you can go to the Daily Trust website, look for that story, read, and, get a glimpse of what it's like to be a minister of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, and how much, of course, you'll be taking home with allowances, of course, every now and then. Yet again, the call numbers 0817-923-0002 and 0817-923-0003. WhatsApp number 0809-0306-416. We're live on Facebook, active on X, formerly Twitter, and we're live on YouTube. All three social media platforms have the same handle, Nigeria Info PH. All right, let the conversations begin. I'd like to hear from you right now. I really would love to hear from you right now. Let's see, I've got some WhatsApps if you support them. I support this view from the man of God, but will the ministers allow God to use them? Ezekiel Isaiah. That's another angle to it. That's another beautiful angle to it. But let's start with Richard. Richard is calling from Orazi. Richard, welcome.
Good afternoon, Mr. Kalada.
Yes, good afternoon to you.
Yeah, talking about the money that the ministers will get in 4 years, I don't want to believe that is true in any way. Because, I was meant to understand that our senators were taking about 13 to 15 billion naira monthly as their both the salaries and the other allowances and whatever.
Yeah.
And you can see that some of the ministers, or rather senators, they resigned their position to become a minister. Somebody like Dave Kumuyi, who left his senatorial or whatever to become a minister. If that is the kind of money they were going to take, I want to tell you, being a minister to him, he's not that patriotic to leave this Jewish whatever on the Senate and go to.
So you don't believe? I mean,
just a minimal amount of money.
So Richard.
So I think they need to tell us the truth.
Richard,
the truth is that
Richard.
The salaries and the take home of the ministers is one thing that has shielded a high level of secrecy.
No. Now, Richard, listen. That's the problem now. Listen. This information is gotten from the ROM AFC, the commission in charge of, enumerations for public offices. And that's the data. And Daily Trust has taken its time to copy from, the document and publish it so you and I can know what the enumeration is like for ministers.
Sorry, Mr. Kalada. I think Nigeria is one country that, in fact, the information that comes out in Nigeria, most often we need to, it's like people will tell you that somebody doesn't say any truth. The only truth that is in someone's mouth is good morning. And sometimes when you look at the good morning itself, sometimes it is not true.
All right.
Nigeria is in fact, I don't trust any information that is.
All right, thank you very much, Richard. I've got to go now.
Politicians are concerned.
All right, thank you. I've got to go now. I've got Clinton from Bori. Clinton, welcome. Let's talk, please.
Hello, good afternoon.
Yes, Clinton, good afternoon.
Yeah, I listened to Pastor W. Kumuyi, the message he gave to Nigerians.
All right.
I think this is what nation building is all about.
Really?
The problem we're facing in this country lies mostly with the religion. The religious leaders we have this potential of causing chaos in the society. I'm not saying that the politicians or the leaders we've had have been performing optimally. Yes, you have the right to critique any government. But some of the messages that have been sent out have that potential of causing disharmony in the society. So I commend him for sending out this message. I'm not saying that these ministers, we pray that they allow God to also use them.
See, Clinton, yes, that's an angle, but let's stick with your first perspective. Nigerians, some of them, I may not agree with you because they say, you know what, there is the presidential election petition tribunal going on. So you should not be speaking about letting the past be in the past and supporting the ministers when we still are in court.
Okay, that's it. Because of the pending matter in court, he should not be able to speak yet. The matters are determined in court.
Yeah, no, Nigerians
I
are
get the angle now.
Yeah.
That is also fine. Then on the palliative, Canada, we've been having problems with palliatives in Nigeria. Is the intention of the government is to ensure that the burden on the masses are reduced. The reason for this is to cushion the effect of removal of fuel subsidy. But the problem lies with those given the tax to share these palliatives.
All right.
That has been a problem. Like they did the COVID-19 palliative. We saw what happened. They even sent it to the stores. So I pray that this River State governor, the recent governor, is able to ensure that every person, those that are supposed to get the palliatives, get the palliatives. Thank you very much.
All right, thank you very much, Clinton. I've got Robin from HA. Robin, greetings to you. Welcome on the show. Let's talk, please.
I greet you, my brother. Kalada.
Yes, greetings to you.
Kalada, I want to ask you, I'm Nigerian listening to us right now. In the past over 20 years, from 1999, that we have democracy, have there not been ministers in this country? I want you to answer me. Have we not been having ministers?
We've been having ministers, yeah.
So we had ministers from then till today. Then Nigeria is the only country that produces crude oil that don't have a functional refinery. You see, that is why each time I talk, I keep telling the clergies that if they keep quiet the way they have been keeping quiet, when the doomsday will come, it's going to consume all of us and the worshippers of those congregations. We have had ministers who have been failing us. As we speak now, the first female minister of petroleum is to be charged to court in UK. Is he not aware? What did he do? People are losing Nigerian money every day in the name of minister. And a clergyman revert to that level will tell me that we should give the ministers time.
No, he said support. He did not say give them time. He says support the ministers. He's asking for your prayers.
Support them how? Support is give time.
Prayer, have faith in them, believe in them, pray for them, all of that stuff.
Kalada, please allow me to
come to River State. His Excellency, the Golden Governor of Kumuyi, we shout all the palliative to everybody that the palliative will reach. I'm pleading with the federal government that this should be the last palliative to give to governors. They should use that money to repair our refinery. Our refinery should be our palliative, please. But the one coming in, they have approved. Governor Kumuyi will shout it out to everybody. Everybody will get their palliative. All right. Thank you very much. God bless you.
Thank you very much. I've got Hector from Degema. Hector, welcome on the show, please.
Thank you, Good afternoon.
Yeah, welcome.
On highly respected says we should support our ministers. I don't get that statement. How? These are men that we've already given them our mandate. Even when they directed us to support and go to and now they are ministers. I think they should allow God to use them. Nigerians are praying for them. So what support is he asking for again? They should allow God to use them. Then on the palliative, I believe that our governor is that tribalized. That tribalized governor. So I believe that there will be neutrality. We are going to see neutrality.
So what do you think is causing the delay? Like I said, some states have started sharing already. We've seen Lagos. We've seen some other states sharing. What could be the reason for the delay? The federal government or logistics?
I can't tell.
All right. Thank you very much, Hector. We've got Emmanuel from Port Harcourt. Emmanuel, greetings. Welcome on the show. What's on your mind, please?
Yeah, good afternoon, Batibo.
Welcome.
So these are billions that you have mentioned are for the ministers.
48 of them, actually.
Then, how much that are for the citizens of the country? By your details and explanations, well, it means that Nigerian money belongs to them. As the citizens continue to suffer. It's a pity that people are supposed to use the Nigerian money to take care of the citizens, set up companies, and employ the youth to be working. Now, they are the people that carry the billions to their houses or to their homes for them and their children. But I'm happy for this information.
All right, then. All right.
Nigerian money belongs to them. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Emmanuel. IK from Abba. IK, greetings to you. Welcome.
Yes, Canada. Good evening.
Yeah, good afternoon. All right, welcome.
Based on what Pastor Kumuyi said, if I were to say, God only told man of God to pray for the leaders. So if those pastors, they are really doing the will of God, God must surely answer their prayers. Because let me take the case study of Elijah in the Bible. Elijah changed the society of Israel when he prayed. There was no rain for 2.5 years. God answered, and everything changed with the government of Ahab. So all these ministers today, this one said we should support. How can we support? The heart of every minister is the hand of God. So if Christians are really men of God, they will pray to God and God will change their heart. This cabal and all the rest of them, there is no minister that does not know the cabal. The president knows the cabal. All of them, they know why the poor man is suffering. Are you getting me? So what are we going to support them for? When they cannot pray so that God will touch their heart of the ministers. That's my take.
All right, thank you, Ike. I've got Mufasa from D-Line. Mufasa, welcome to the show.
Yeah, hi, Kalada. Good evening.
Yeah, good evening to you.
Yes, I want to say that I myself am not a fan of these men of God because I know that at times they could, be overbearing to an extent. But you see, this particular position of Pastor W.F. Kumuyi is a position that I appreciate because whether we like it or not, we can only hope for the best and prepare for the worst. Before now, what we usually see is these men of God coming with prophecy of doom and gloom.
All right.
To the extent that it's as if there is no hope for us, as a country. But this man has stated that, that we should hope and believe that, things will definitely get better. And that is the truth. Now we have a president, he has, inaugurated his cabinet, and that is what we can work for now. So instead of coming with prophecy of doom and gloom, he has said that, that we should hope and believe, and also pray that, what we are expecting as Nigerians, we get it.
All right.
So for me, I do not see anything wrong with what he has said. I mean, it's a complete departure of the norm, where you see a man of God come and say Nigeria is going to, Nigeria is heading for the rocks, Nigeria is not going to get better and all of that. So I think it's a way to go. And lastly, for the palliative, I strongly believe. Hello?
I'm listening to you, Frank.
Hello?
I'm listening to you, Mufasa.
Good. I strongly believe that, you see, this issue of palliative is not something we should completely rely on, unless, of course, they want to continue giving Nigerians palliative.
But Mufasa,
it's more or less like what the caller has rightly said, window dressing. I think the money that they are putting into this palliative thing, they should use it to, improve on our industries, revamp our refineries, and see how to repair our roads. Our federal roads are bad.
Now,
So
Mufasa, can I come in now? Can I come in now?
Pissing in the wind. So for me, we should move away from this and that kind of, leadership and think of something that will, stand the test of time.
All right.
That's my position, Canada. Have a nice day.
I wish you could hear me. I wanted to ask you, when you say you don't want palliatives, I don't think, a lot of Nigerians want palliatives, but the monies have been given, distributed, I believe, to the governors, or if not all the governors, some of the governors. Is it not our duty and our right and responsibility to ensure that those monies are properly and well spent? That's why we're talking about it. Frank from D-Line. Frank, greetings to you. Welcome on the show. What's on your mind, please?
Afternoon, Canada.
Yeah, greetings.
Let me ask you first of all. I want to know what the minister, the president is talking about. Is he the minister of Federal Republic of Nigeria?
All of the ministers, not a particular minister. All of the ministers, the 48 of them, the ministers of the Federal Republic of Nigeria.
Okay. If it if it is the ministers, they need our prayers for them to excel.
Okay.
Because they are the minister of our country, not the minister of one political party. And all of us that we are in Nigeria here, we belong to Nigeria. We are Nigerians, and not APC, PDP alone. So if there is anything that go wrong in the ruin of APC, they go wrong entire Nigeria. So we should bear that in mind. That's why the man said we should pray for them to and make Nigeria better. So why some people, when they talk about this APC government, you look at it, APC, but we should not be tagging them as bad people. We should pray for them to rule us well. If they rule us well, APC, PDP, Labour does not have anything to do in our system.
All right.
That's my comment this afternoon. Thank you and God bless you.
Thank you, Frank. I've got Gift from Port Harcourt Township. Gift, welcome. What's on your mind, please?
Good afternoon to you, Chief K.
All right, Gift, welcome.
You know, we are told in my community that when a grown adult man decides to go play naked with children in the sands, the children will touch his ball and ask him if it is donut or scotch egg. When the clergyman comes out to tell us that God will use the president to turn our situation for the better, I think he's stepping out of the spiritual realm. Because it's not the first time.
Yeah, this is not the first
Some
time.
other clergymen have told us, and if you go to social media, you see that if he did not make this comment, some of the comments some persons are making against him on social media, they wouldn't have.
But now that you mentioned Gift, this is also not the first time that he's also making this comment. In 2015, he made it to set support, the incoming government. God will use the then President Buhari. In 2017, he also said God will use the ministers and the government of Buhari. So a lot of people are angry, and a lot of people are saying, but for me, I think it's just a piece of advice, for people to believe. Because if they don't believe, how would God use the leaders
to believe what, Chief K?
To believe that
you
God
just
can.
read it out from 2015. He has been saying this. No vex. Don't be offended, though.
But real
Your
Gift.
condition don't improve.
Real Gift, could it be that it's our lack of belief, our lack of faith, that is possibly making it not work? I mean, think about it from that angle.
There is a portion in the Bible, I don't know the exact one, but that says that faith without works is what?
Is dead.
So, if we have the faith and then the ministers and those in government who are supposed to do the work and not working, what in our faith will bring for us?
Interesting.
As I speak to you, the condition why then if I tell yourself, you go fundraising for me.
All right, thank you very much, Gift.
Thank you.
I've got Braid from Buguma. Braid, greetings to you. Welcome on the show. What's on your mind?
Yeah, Mr. Batu, I bring greetings from you from Buguma.
All right, Braid.
Yeah, Mr. Batu, we should pray for the ministers. Well, we will pray, but when we pray, the ministers are not praying. Would it go down well? And also, the palliative we are talking about today. Why the president not put that money into the economy? So that if we perhaps we go to market, if rice is 45,000, people get it around 40,000, 35,000.
All right.
It will go down well. Now, if you give it to the governor, the people have no trust on the government again. Because look at last time, here in River State, where the governor is his party is contesting election, and he created almost how many thousand special advisors. Even the money that is supposed to be given to them, we are not given to most of them. It was put into the back pocket of some individuals. So that is the kind of thing we are talking about palliative. Palliative of COVID-19. Some were found in the warehouse. The ones they tried to bring out, about 3 people for 1 tuber of yam.
All right.
And people don't even see it. So why can't we put this money into the economy, put our refineries to work, use more monthly refineries? It will help the economy.
All right, thank you very much. I've got good news from Port Harcourt. Good news, greetings. Welcome on the show.
I greet you, my phone.
Yeah, good news, greetings.
There's something people don't understand. I've listened to callers. Pastor Kumuyi is a pastor. You don't expect him to speak like a politician.
Okay.
If you give him the microphone 10 times, he will not say God will use Tinubu president to kill the nation. He will be positive.
All right.
He will say God will use the president to change the country for the better. And not that there's no time as a pastor, he will say, let us not pray for them. They always say, pray for them. That's our leaders and those nonsense. So if you understand that he's a pastor and talks and acts like a man of God, then you understand that it is him that will do the praying. Why the people we are praying for will do the working.
All right then.
When they do the working, then you know that the things have come out. But if you don't do the working, don't expect it. Don't do that. Don't say that his prayer did not work. Therefore, palliative, it's imperative that River State, Nigerians must know that this money that was brought was not brought because they love us. They brought it to a rich extent. If they want to do the right thing, yes, I say authority. If they want to do what needs to go around, any non-governmental organizations who spend their own money already, who could pursue them? Non-governmental organizations including churches, mosques, including the chiefs in the communities. Why passing through the same government who could not do anything? I think we have a long way to go.
All right, thank you very much. Good news. Thank you for your time. Now let's focus on messages. Thank God I believe here at Twegbu has a couple. It says, greetings. I don't understand what Pastor Kumuyi means by if Nigerians give the ministers chance, they will perform. Who will perform, and who will not perform, will not perform. Nobody's holding them not to perform. From Thank God Ability. So when it says, greetings once again, 48 ministers to earn about 8.63 billion naira in 4 years. That is why politicians are marching on people's toes to be at the National Assembly. All right. Thank you very much. Moving on now. This one says, good day, Canada. The big story is NLC threatens its palliative distribution stalls in some states. I am even scandalized to hear that we are talking about some phantom palliative. Seriously, I guess we never learn. These ghoulish politicians have weaponized poverty and they seem to be succeeding, but not for too long. Pastor Kumuyi says God will use the ministers if Nigerians give them a chance. The highly revered pastor should leave politics to politicians and just focus on winning souls for Jesus Christ. He once said God will use Buhari and Kira Newton. Thank you. Let's see. The ministers are people we already know, and it will be out of place to think that they are going to be the game changers because many of them, okay, Nestle, you say many of them, okay, I can't use that word because it's not a fact. Nestle from Bodanko, thank you nonetheless. So says, good afternoon. I want to tell you that these salary figures that you read out for our ministers are totally lie figures. If it is this kind of amount, none of them will resign from the Senate to become a minister. Induka from Rupoku. Mr. Kalada, you shouldn't be disaggregating the monthly emoluments of ministers. You should always put the basic salary and allowance together. By the time you put them together, you will discover each minister goes on with about 11.4 million per month. After all, your organization does not pay your basic salary and allowance separately. Everything comes in a lump sum. No, actually, it's been paid differently, Kalu. However, I should do say that I broke it down. I did break it down, and I, did the summation as well. So I gave you the individual figures, and I gave it a total sum as well. On the palliative distribution, federal government gave 5 trucks of rice, which is not enough. But let us make some mathematics here. As FG has given 5 trucks of rice to each state, if, for instance, each state's government adds 3 trucks of rice to theirs, as much as resources at their disposal permits them, and each local government adds 2 trucks at their respective domains, the trucks of rice will be 5 plus 3 plus 2, which equals 10 trucks of rice for distribution to the poor in their respective states. At least the 10 trucks of rice will go a long way in reducing hunger. On Pastor Kumuyi's appeal or admonition to Nigerians, Canada, I stand with the pastor because there are a group of people in this country who never see anything good about Nigeria or do not want anything good in this country. If we do not cooperate with good policies of government and support government, the public officials alone cannot achieve much. We need to join hands to develop Nigeria. Emi Fiaga with that one. But Emi, I should remind you that the state governments are supposed to buy 100,000 bags of rice from the 5 billion naira, just to mention. I totally agree with Pastor W.F. Kumuyi that God will use the set of ministers we have now to bring change that will usher in development and reduce the suffering in the land, only if we will give them all the needed support to succeed. And for the amount to be earned by the ministers in the next 4 years, it should not be our worry, because every individual wants upgrade in life. But all we should worry now is seeing them deliver and justify the reasons for their appointment. Wuike Odinaka. All right, well said. Let's look at this one. It says, good day, Mr. Canada. Pastor Kumuyi should know that Nigerians have given present and past ministers enough chance to serve. and to make lives better for them. You can't keep appointing the same people and expect a different result. Some of these ministers were governors and some are past ministers. The people gave them enough chance, yet they did not make lives better. Please, pastors should help us and pray for these current ministers to do well. Thank you. Honor with that one. Hello, Galada. On the delay of the palliative sharing in Bever State, I think that the governor is waiting for his boss, FCT minister, to give him the sharing formula. For now, the boss dictates for him until he breaks loose. Pastor Vincent, if you say so. And this one says, this prayer of a thing in this country. Yes, where prayer will work, we will apply it, but where integrity, transparency, equity, and justice should be enthroned, we do so. The honest thing here is that our politicians don't have the fear of God and are hardened than countries of the world, especially in the UAE and Europe, who are not as religious as we are. Why do they do the right thing and they progress rapidly? I am Cheese Light from Rumacrusi Pipeline. Well, UAE, they're very religious, I should say. They don't play with the religion, just so you know that I get your point. So says Good Day Canada. Please advise the River State government to distribute the so-called palliatives through census counting system and not in an open field where people will be stampeded, as lives should not be lost trying to survive. Emeka from Rumudara. Okay. Someone just sent me a picture of palliative from Lagos State. Very funny, I should say. Wow, is this the palliative? Are you sure? But this looks like from a local government. Looks like Badagry West Local Government Development Initiative. So it's possibly not the federal government palliative. But what do I know? I've got 3 more minutes to the top of the hour, and I guess I have to wrap up now. I've got to wrap up now. But let's look at the comment on Facebook. Let's see what we have there. Okay, I think it's from same people who have sent in messages on WhatsApp. So this is the much that we can take. Or should I take one more call? I think I should take one more call. So I'm going to call the numbers once again. 0817-923-0002 and 0817-923-0003. Ringing now. Let's talk for a minute or two and we wrap things up. What's your take on the big stories? What do you think about the big stories? NLC threatening if palliatives are not, distributed quickly. Pastor Kumuyi is saying we should support the ministers. We should support them. And of course, I'm thinking about supporting the ministers. They will go home with 8.63 billion naira in 4 years. And I'm wondering, is that okay? Is that good enough? So it says we should stop deceiving ourselves with these prayers. We can pray for now till eternity. If we fail to do the right thing, nothing will change. Trust, Frank, all right? I've got Perez from Oyibo. Let's listen to Perez quickly. Perez, you've got 60 seconds. Let's listen to you.
All right. Good, sir.
Yeah, I agree.
Actually, Kumuyi said it. It's true. You see, the problem we are having in Nigeria is that since I grew up to notice that I'm a human being on earth, Nigeria hardly believed that. Since so many years, 80-something, when Odo Kopan sang in Calabar language, that that was 80-something, was Buhari 80. That time said it was a Shagari period. Another somebody like this Mageludo also sang in music and said Dakanomi during the time of Babangida. Dakanomi, that to say go come out for me. I want to stand because things are too difficult. Laskimono also sang that your point
because time is
the
up.
The problem we have is that since independence, Nigeria refused to believe on their leaders. Right, that is why we are seeing this hardship.
Right,
from the day we begin to know that thank you is another language for telling person do more, you see that this our country will begin to come out better.
All right, thank you, Perez. Perez, thank you very much. What a way to look at it. Good day for me. The prayers are baseless because the election that he claims brought them lacks credibility. Tony with that one. All right, stay tuned. The news is up next.
This is Nigeria's #1 talk radio station. Nigeria Info. Nigeria.